everyone, welcome to class 3 of our Colorwork Hat Knit Along. This is where you should be at, and you've got your first 4 rows of your pattern done. I just realized I did have a stitch marker, but it's gone. This is my joining point of my round, but I'll just pretend and that there's a stitch marker sitting there. Welcome back. Hope you had fun working on it over the weekend. And yeah, it is now Monday, I believe, and we will do another class again probably Wednesday night. So I'm going to give you a couple days worth of homework here. So as you can see, first 4 rounds are done. You've done your solid round of color C, your 2 little sort of checkerboardy rounds of colors E and color A, and then another round of C. So now we have a few ends at the back of our work. What I like to do at this point is I like to take some of my ends and start to tie them together. We're going to weave them in later with a needle, but just so that things sort of stay put and don't get too loosey-goosey, I start to sort of tie things off a little bit. Nothing, no thick knots or anything, but like for example, my first 2 ends here of my contrasting colors, I would just take and literally do this, okay? And also, we're not going to need these 2 colors now for a while. Our color, let me just think here, color E and color C. So I'm going to cut them now. Just for now, we can join them in later. Okay. So now I've just got my one live color that's here is my main color, color A, my light gray. And we are going to be working in this next section with color A and color B. Okay, so if you look at your pattern, the first section, where are we here? The first section of this next section is 2 stitches of color B, 1 stitch of A, 1 stitch of B. And then we go back and do it again. 2 stitches of B, 1 stitch of A, 1 stitch of B. And what I'm going to show you here is because we are not going over more than 3 stitches at a time with any given color, you've probably, I don't know if I talked last time about floats, but you never want to carry a float in color work longer than 3 or ideally 3 stitches. That's why I designed this pattern this way, is that you're never using a color more than 3 stitches in a round, so that you don't have to worry about catching your floats, because your floats are no longer than 3 stitches anyways, which is totally acceptable. So if you have a look here, like I say, when you're carrying your colors nicely, your floats behind your work, you've got lots of flex going on, and your floats aren't, they're not sticking out, they're not overly loose, but they're loose enough that you can move your knitting. Your knitting isn't like cement. Okay, and likewise, if we look at our new hat here, we've got movement happening on our hat. It's not super tight, it's got some stretch. Okay, and we're going to carry on with that concept. We don't want to be knitting tightly. So for example, like I say, we're going to join in our new color. For me, this is going to be my navy. Okay, and I'm literally just going to start knitting with my new color. So we're doing 2 stitches of color B, and then 1 stitch of A. So my A is my light gray, which I'm always carrying, still remaining to keep carrying it under. It's the under color, if you will. And my alternate color, my contrast color, goes over. Okay, so now 1 more color B. Now if you have a look, it's sort of tricky in that that first little bit is 2 stitches of B, 1A, 1B, and 2 more B actually gives us 3B, if you will, in a row. So we're actually around the whole row doing 3 navy in a row effectually, and then 1 light gray. 3 navy, and 1 light gray. Okay, all the way around the row, until you get right, of course, you know, to the last 4 stitches will be 2B, 1A, 1B, and then you will hit your marker. Okay, so these next 4 rounds are giving you this little vine detail, if you will. So for these next 4 rounds, you're going to be using color B and color A. On the next round, on round 6, it'll be 1A, 1B, 1A, 1B, all the way around. And likewise on round 7. Round 8 will be 1A, 3B, 1A, 3B. And so we're going to get our design really starting to pop and start looking really effective here really quickly. Okay, so that's our next 4 rounds. Then we'll go back to, we're going to have to rejoin in our color C because I cut it. Color C will be round 9, and then we're back to our little checkerboard effect like we did in rounds 2 and 3, the same. Okay, so I'm going to get you to do up until round 12 in this next little set of next couple of days. We'll come back again on Wednesday night, same time, 7:30. Okay, so I'm giving you, your homework is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds. Okay, nothing, I don't think there's anything else to that I didn't talk about last time that you would need to know for that bit. Like I say, you're just going to continue to work on keeping your tension nice and generous, so you've got some movement. Like I say, you know, I tied off my one initial join, if you will, with my colors, my 2 contrasting colors below there. And again, you know, if you're not using a color for more than maybe 4 rounds, cut it and add it back in later. Okay, if you're going to be using it again in 3 or 4 rounds, just let it dangle at the back. Okay, the less you have obviously hanging down at the back, the better. You know, you could technically, I guess, have all 5 colors live at any given time, but it gets a little bit annoying having them hanging in the way. And likewise, if you want, now at this point you can actually take, you know, a couple of your ends that are closer to where you're working and just loosely tie them off. And like I say, we will retighten them and weave them in again later, you know, with our needle. And you're just sort of keeping them so that they're not all loose at the join here. There are ways to do what they call jogless joins for color work. We will tackle that in another video on another day. I don't think we need to tackle that on this on this project, seeing as this is your first color work project possibly. So we're just going to keep it easy, keep it simple. There's going to be, you'll always see that there's a little jog in the colors where your join is, where your marker would be, because that's of course where you end and where you start on your next round. Don't worry about that. There again, don't analyze or be too hard on yourself about your join. The worst thing that you can do, just like with the coloring, is if you make your joins and your color carrying too tight. So keep relaxed. Even if something looks a little loose at this point, doesn't matter. We're going to go back, tighten them up, weave them in. We're just at this point concentrating on the knitting, and there's really nothing else to worry about. You're just now, you know, confidently following your chart. Okay, so like I say, come on back on Wednesday night at 7:30 and we will carry on. And so your homework is carry on from rounds 5 to 12 of your chart. Okay, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a bit more, and probably within a couple of classes we'll be almost to the top, to the decreases. Okay, so if you have any questions, call the shop, pop in, or email. You can always pick our brains. Pop in if you've started on it and you want to show your progress. Come on, say hi. We're open 11 to 4 Monday to Saturday, and yeah, hope you're having fun. Have a good night. We will see you on Wednesday.